About 12:15 this afternoon, President Obama and Air Force One arrived at Austin Bergstrom International Airport. Our Sally Hernandez was there trying to flag down the president without much luck. I know there was a large crowd there. Sally, what can you tell us?
Hi, Brian. Well, he did get to shake the hands of the many supporters who were there to greet him, so that was the important part for them. After he left ABIA, he left the airport on his way to Maynard Tech High School. Governor Rick Perry broke away and said, listen, I'm going to give a press briefing in about 10 minutes. So we all headed into the building so that he could talk about what he said to President Obama. As you know, he was waiting at the very end of the steps when the president stepped down from Air Force One. And what Governor Perry said was that he told President Obama, welcome to Texas. And he said, if you want to create jobs, this is the place to be. Austin, Texas has a huge tech industry, so this is where you want to be. And he did inject a little humor in there. He said that he also was going to send the president a dozen kolaches from Tech Stop. From near West Texas, as you know, the governor talking about the explosion, the fertilizer plant explosion, and how he just wanted to let the president know that there was still some other areas of Texas that still needed some of his attention. And he was going to send him a dozen kolaches because he thought that the president could eat maybe one or two because he works out and stays fit. But aside from some of that humor, he did say that he welcomes the president to Texas. This is the place to be for growing jobs and growing the economy. But on the same talking point on that, Brian, he did also say the best way to do that is to just let the federal government get out of the way and let states like Texas go ahead and create those jobs like we have been doing.
Absolutely, Sally. And President Obama did send his thoughts and condolences to the victims, the first responders there from the West explosion. Obviously, this is President Obama's second trip to Texas in just as many weeks. He was here for the dedication ceremony for the George W. Bush Presidential Library with the 5 living presidents, something we don't see very often. And then he headed down to Waco to the Farrell Center to the memorial service there.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. He wanted to give you the recap of what he said, closing some of his remarks. Spoke to him for about 10 minutes, Governor Rick Perry. He also said, the president stopped here in Texas first, didn't go to the blue states, came to a red state. That also said, it doesn't matter what team you're on, whether you're on the red team or the blue team, you want to be on the side of a winner. And, Texas, he says, is winning when it comes to creating jobs. So, and all a very welcoming message to the president, but still saying, there is a reason why you're here in Texas, and that reason is because we are friendly to our businesses here, and that is because we would like to do it our way, not necessarily your way.
Right. In fact, we have quotes from Governor Perry when he got the news that President Obama was making Austin his first stop on his middle-class jobs and opportunity tour. Governor Perry said, quote, the government in Washington, frankly, can be of most assistance by saying, you know what, we're going to stay out of your hair. We're going to try to quit making a one-size-fits-all, and we're going to allow you states to compete. He also said, quote, we've been a red state for the last decade. We're leading the nation in the creation of jobs. We're leading the nation economically. So your common sense tells you if you're going to come to the state of Texas and point us out as a model, you're going to have to be for Republican policies, end quote. So once again, President Obama making it a point in his second term to spark economic recovery. And a large part of that has to deal with bridging the educational gap between the schools and the high-tech jobs that are available, what he sees as the future of manufacturing and industry in the United States, declaring 2 executive orders. He wants to create 3 manufacturing innovation institutes, much like the one already in Youngstown, Ohio. He also wants to make government data available to entrepreneurs and to startup businesses. 2 examples would be the Weather Channel and using government data from satellites to create the Weather Channel. Also GPS systems from satellites and government information that has helped spark a number of businesses.